Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Holistic-Yogi podcast. I am your host, Kamala Ingrid, and today's episode, I have the honors to introduce a wonderful friend of mine. We go way back. Her name is Patricia Araras. Hello, honey. How are you?
How are you? So happy to be here with you.
Thank you. Thank you. I also want to let you know she's also not only a big-hearted person with her yoga on board, and as well as a tarot reader or a tarologist, as we would say. And she also carries her own line that she's also launching. So I want to introduce you to the public. For those that don't know you, let us know a little bit about what got you started in yoga and how you are where you are today.
Well, wow. First of all, thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm so happy. Kamala and I go way back. This is exciting because she's actually my guru. She's one of those people that was instrumental in my healing journey. So
Yeah.
basically, I mean, what happened was I had two little children and two toddlers running around my home. And one of those days, just like cleaning up, I got stuck and really like hurt my back, really injured, my lower back actually. And that started me in the healing journey, finding anything that I could do to just help me get better, because whenever something like that happens, you feel handicapped, you feel like life is done. So basically I started going, just a regular route that anybody would go to, chiropractic care, strengthening on all that. But then I found yoga, and I always had an inclination to do yoga. I had tried it before but never really like followed through, and just started noticing immediately in my practice how I was feeling better and better progressively, and just fell in love with it. Just found such a love for it, and the fact that I wanted to also learn it, teach it, and help others through their healing journey.
That's
So
amazing.
that's basically how it all began with yoga. What got me there?
You started, what year was it? I want to say
It was back, well, I got certified in 2010.
10, right? I was gonna say 12, but no, it was before that. I've certified so many, so it's like keeping track with what year and when
Yeah.
people got certified. Yeah, you did start before. Alicia got certified afterwards, so that's when, yeah, you came before her. And
Yes,
yeah,
I started, like maybe 2, 3 years before I ever got certified.
yeah,
Started taking classes first with a wonderful teacher. Her name was Beth, and then she got relocated, and you came along, and I just noticed how amazing it was, the difference between your teachers and your gurus, how that can make such a big difference.
a big
And
impact, yes.
to me, you were like a godsend, because you really worked with pushing us so that we saw the progression very quickly,
Yes, and
and helping us through with you were very, you had so much knowledge, so knowledgeable when it came to the body and injuries and all of that. You had suffered injuries yourself, and
oh yeah, plenty.
yeah.
And also, I know that you still dance, so it's like even that, having that background as a younger part of me, and integrating it through the yoga and creating a flow for those that have the passion for dance and creativity, like that movement, was key for me. And then I ended up working with people like athletes, so their method of wanting to stay on board with, with all the injuries that they can get, because they're highly, and it's a high impact type of and sports that they have, depending on where they are in their lives, and they've got to get back on the A game. So it was like, okay, let me see how I can turn all
That's
this around.
exactly how I felt. I'm like, how can I get back to my A game here? And literally, it changed my life. doing yoga and being able to go back to dance completely changed my body. It changed my outlook on life. It put me back in touch with my spirituality. I mean, it just did so many things, and it expanded um, just my view on and my perspective on so many things. So
Oh, that's beautiful to hear. And I love that because I hear that a lot from a lot of my clients and students that have, even those that when I stopped teaching in the gyms, that I kind of, they were sad for me to go, but you've got to keep moving forward, and time has its way of like, okay, it's time for something else. But to see them have, taken a lot of that knowledge and those remembering what it was done for them, and some of them I see that they continue moving forward, and I'm not talking about the teachers, I'm looking like students, that still implicate a lot of the things I taught them. So that's kind of nice. And I have you to actually thank, because you're the one that put me now basically to the world.
Let's bring you out, shine your light.
I was like, huh?
You need to do this for people to actually see it, and so you can reach a wider audience, because what you have is so valuable.
Thank you. But enough about here. Let's go back to you. I also wanted to get a little bit about your tarot. You and I have very much similar likings a lot. Not only that we are Leos and we got these golden hair. You got yours brushed out.
But, I know, I don't have my curls out today.
Not today. I didn't have time. We have an ugly rainy season here. Well, I gotta say, beautiful rainy season, because it is, but it's just so muggy out today. I wanted, so there's no point of straightening this out. But I wanted to talk to you.
Speaking of that, speaking of our mains and how we are both Leos, and we share that astrological bond, we collaborated in a beautiful series that was called the Lionheart Thursdays. Remember that?
I do remember.
We did it for a whole year, and
it did good.
We did good. We really dedicated ourselves to, bring like little snippets and beautiful messages every week. And you would take on the part of the meditation and the integration. And I was doing the part of bringing
the tarot reading of the energy.
Yes.
It was beautiful. And I got to say that it came in a time in my life when I was actually kind of like healing from a car accident, because I had just had one not too long ago. In that time frame, like was it what year was that? 2018, right? Yeah, 2018. Was it 18 or yes, 2018. Sometime in May, I ended up having a car accident. I think when did we start? Like that tarot, the meditation, I think started within 2 months after. I want to say that I was just kind of healing through the process. So it was like force of nature. I talk about holistic paths coming together. I think it was so beautiful how we both brought, you helped me through basically helping me look at something that I had and help me move out of that place. And it's always, I think we meditate and manifest things that we want to see ourselves come out of sometimes, because I just didn't want to be in that plateau. And somehow you come along, send me a text out of the blue. And that's the universe working its forces, like answering to the calls I wanted without knowing how, because I'm remaining open to all the possibilities. And here you come along, meditation of all things, which for me, it has this, I have to sit down with myself and see where I'm at, check my energy as well, and see how I can take whatever I'm going through, redirect it, and apply it to others. Like I've done with my classes, how do I redirect it so others can take the benefit out of it? And somehow it became something beautiful, because then you added the tarot into it, and it just worked like magic. It was like it came together. And you're in Puerto Rico, I'm here in Florida, so it's like we're not even close. We're literally, everything is done electronically through a phone.
Yeah, even before the pandemic, we were already rocking out
our magic. Yeah,
rocking out the collaborations online.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it's kind of, it pushed me forward. Then we fell off, but it's something I think I needed, because it was like the beginning of where I am today. it helped me clear out this throat chakra.
Yes.
Because I really was like blocked, and I gotta say that has been one of my things that I've had to work on myself was expression. um, I have no problem expressing with my small groups or people that I see one on one, but when it came to being seen by people I don't know, or I don't know who's seeing this,
Oh, I get it. I get it. That was something that when Fearless Light, before Fearless Light came along,
that's right.
um, and we'll go into how that all started,
Can't
but
wait.
I had to really like dig deep because I come from a family that my dad was in public service. He was in politics here in Puerto Rico. He's pretty well known. So is my sister. She's in the public eye. And here I am, being spiritual and wanting to come out with my spiritual gifts and thinking, my family's gonna think that I'm crazy. They're not, going to be supportive. And you go through all these things. And I think that that's exactly what Fearless is. It was like, I'm gonna fearlessly let this light shine, and I'm just going to follow my guidance, fearless like guidance. That's how it all came along.
Yeah.
And it was a calling, and it was just nudging me, and I was feeling that, and I'm like, okay, I can't ignore this anymore.
And
So
it's amazing because a lot of us don't take that leap, and it's sad because so many people have. I know everybody has a gift. Everyone has a gift in their own ways. What I may have, someone else may have something else. In different ways, we show a beautiful gift, and not everybody allows that shine. And or don't know how. And I think that the reason I opened up this podcast was to basically show people it can be done. And the fact that I started interviewing other people of all walks of life, basically from where they are now, some already achieved what they want, and others are still in their process, and others are still just spawning. But
yeah, we're all in different
phases.
paths, but we all share, a common journey. It's just like it doesn't matter where you are. I always want to empower, people to do what it is that they feel called to,
Yeah.
because you have purpose, and even the simplest story, or your saddest moments, the most chaotic situations in your life, can be turned into lessons that other people can look up to, other people that have been going through the same. And you can help just by speaking up, speaking out, and telling your story. you
Right.
could you can be a light to someone
Absolutely. And
else.
not only that, just let them know, okay, they're not alone. And I think I've dealt with people with depression, mental health issues, chronic issues, different types of chronic issues. And again, our mind can easily take us to that place of darkness, but we can also take that same darkness and put more light into it, and allow something more beautiful to come out of it. Making and what you do is basically heal your body. Not only are you healing the mind, but you're healing the body, because that's how we tax ourselves. When this is completely overridden by darkness, it applies into the body. So when you can undo all that from here.
Oh, definitely, and I can relate to being in dark moments and going through those periods in time where you completely feel like you lost yourself,
Yeah.
because you could be in situations that are not necessarily healthy for you.
Yeah.
You can be going through bereavement and the most terrible things in the world. in your life, and that feeling of loss, you feel like you're never going to be able to see the light. So it's just really what you do with those experiences. I feel like how what comes out of it can be so beautiful. It's like
Absolutely.
go through the emotions, feel it all, and then you don't have to stay there.
No,
This life is definitely something worth living and worth
taking chances.
exploring.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so
Well, we're in
yeah,
that topic of
leaps of
exploring.
faith. Feel Yes,
Tell
tell me.
me how you explored the whole tarot world.
Okay, well, it's something that it comes from when I was very little, and I have my maternal grandmother to thank for, because she, when we're kids, we don't realize, that we could have a gift, or that something that we do or are is special,
Is passed on.
and she always recognized. Yeah, she caught on very early that I was extremely intuitive, that I had this healing qualities about me. So she just exposed me to so many things. Like, she took me to
Hold on, hold on.
spiritual
Okay, let's repeat that part
reunions. She
again.
took me to the people that would read cards. Can you see? Oh, it says the internet is unstable.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
there.
Okay.
Are we
There we
good?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
better.
sorry. So no, she exposed me. So she took me to people that read cards. She took me to astrologers. She took me to spiritual reunions where people would like summon spirit. And funny thing happened, that every time that she would take me to a place, the person that was reading, or the people that were there, would point out that I had something that spirit wanted to speak to me. And I would say certain things, and they would be like, oh my God, like, this child is special. So every time that I would go somewhere, like, people would give me that sense of validation, like, there's something here. There's something here to look at. You have some sort of gift. Long story short, she gave me a deck of tarot cards when
You
I was
still have them?
about 13, 14. I still have them. It's
Wow.
this one. Like, you see, it's a little bit old on but it's the original
Oh,
Rider
wow.
Waite.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, I still have it. I keep it in a pouch, but I was doing readings today.
Do you use
So
them?
I use them.
Oh.
And I have plenty of cards.
Oh, I know.
But they're always my go-to. I have them there. I love them. So of course they're close to my heart.
Of course.
But so she gave them to me when I was about 13, 14. And I left Puerto Rico when I was in my 20s to go study abroad, and pretty much came and went. But then I stayed in the United States. Long story. Anyway, Hurricane Maria comes along and does a number on Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
because we all know that 13 hours of sustained
Yeah.
200
Storm.
mile an hour wind is just
Yeah.
horrible devastation. So we didn't have power or water for the longest time. And, we were all finding things to do and looking in between my old stuff, because I am in this house where I grew up. I find the cards.
Look at that.
And, I had already had these nudges, like I said, that were telling me to keep exploring that part of me that was, spiritual, and to keep learning. So I've been always an eternal student of everything, studying astrology, metaphysics, quantum physics, everything on my own. So I find these cards and I start reading for my mom or, you know, my boyfriend or like my friend or whoever. And they're like, oh, you know, like this is really cool. And I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, this feels really good. Like they were like giving me confirmation, like how accurate the readings were and all this stuff. And one morning I wake up and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go online because something kept telling me, go online, go and see what other people are doing with tarot online, you know?
Yeah.
And I went and I saw this whole community, a whole new world opened up to me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Like, why shouldn't I do this? You know?
Yeah.
So that's fearless
Like,
tarot story there for
that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And are you more, I know you're intuitive, so I get that. I've always, I understand that. But did you learn the meaning of the cards before you started, or you learned them over time? You did.
yes, absolutely. Like I knew about cards and I studied everything about
Okay.
their meaning, the symbolisms, the connection to the planets, the elements, all these things when I was very young. So I
Yeah.
already had that knowledge with me. But obviously, you know, you get more in tune at the more
Definitely.
readings you do. And it was just amazing to see like how my gift was developing and how I was getting more clairaudient, and I was, you know, hearing things, watching things, stories like a movie, feeling the energy of the people that I was reading for.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
it just became something that really expanded me. And you know, it's something that
It's
never go back.
interesting. Yeah, because I've actually, and it's funny because I mean, think when my car got stolen years ago, I remember I left a, remember I carried my cards in my car at
Oh,
the
you
time.
were so mad. You were like, oh, my wild spirits,
Yeah,
my
they,
love unknown.
yeah, but they were, I was so connected to those cards. I
Yes.
had an intuitive feeling with those cards. It was unreal. And when the car got stolen, the fact that they took that, and I said, why would they take this? You know, of all things, why this? You know, it's like, because my car was basically in pieces, you know, I was like, they took it apart with certain things they left behind, but I was just like, tarot, really? You know, why?
You're
But
like,
I was so,
oh, heck yeah, tarot cards. Let's do it.
yeah. And, but it's funny because it took a while before I got hooked up to another one that I could feel that way, but never like that one. And I don't think that if I rebuy the same one, it's not the same. There was something about that particular, it spoke to me.
Yeah, well, I get it. Like I would have been pretty upset.
Yeah, it was something that it spoke to me, and I could read through that, and there was an intuitive feeling with that that I don't think I have with the other ones as much as I had with that one. And it really,
Well, we
you know,
need to find out. So this needs to be like a to be continued. We need to find out.
what,
I'm gonna send that deck to you and see what happens. You need to let us know.
see if something happened. Well, I do know that the artist itself, she's a also a very intuitive person, so maybe it
Yes.
has to do with her energy. I don't know. I have no idea, but yeah, I all I know is that yeah, I was very in tune with her car, her deck set. And it's funny because I got two decks. I have the other one still with me, but they're more the animal, the spirit, animal tone, you know, spirit
Well,
tone.
you know, when anybody, I think, and I was going through that process too of creating a deck, and I had to put a pause on that. But when you're creating a deck, I feel like anything that you do that is so intentional, you're really putting your love and energy and focus
Yeah,
into that, so that when people actually receive it and use your deck, it's going to be something
yeah,
really amazing,
I
really.
agree because those decks, that deck came out right when she started, basically. So I was one of the first ones that bought it, and I just loved it because it was different than your
Yes,
usual
it's
stuff.
so different. Yes, I know.
And some people say, oh, but they're dark, but they're not. They have the light and darkness, the yin and yang. And I think as an
Well,
artist,
like we do.
exactly, like an artist, I could see it, because I think that way. So I could see things in from darkness, how you go into light, and how you can see it in both
Mhm.
ways. And every little thing of hers was so intricate. And remember the lines, the details.
Yes.
And I think I just love her art. It was it called me. It spoke to me. So I
Yes.
thought it was
She
really
is
beautiful.
amazing. Yes.
Yeah. And so now you have actually ventured in the past, what, a year and a half, I would say? You ventured
I
right before
started,
COVID.
well, I started, when was it? I started in September
Okay, so, okay.
with Savvy. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us more, because I see wonderful posts. I just saw one this morning that you
Oh
were.
my God, Savvy. I love Savvy. Savvy is this lifestyle brand, and they basically focus on athleisure. And I basically live in this stuff
I
like
see it.
90% of the time, because I dance, I go to the gym, and I'm always in these clothes. So
Yeah.
to me, it was like a no-brainer when I came through, because they're pre-launching.
Right.
So I I have ventured in MLMs before with Rodan and Fields, skincare. And, I always wonder like what it would have been like if I would have been there when it started.
Right.
And I didn't have that opportunity with them, but now they're in pre-launch. They're actually going to be going public in September.
Nice.
So in the worst possible financial year, they've made millions and millions of dollars, partnered with like 25,000 brand partners. And we are just setting the tone for what this line is going to be. And, I'm happy to be a Latina representing for them. And, their clothes are amazing. They could be compared to Lulu and Aloe.
Nice. That's good
But
to know.
we have our own unique manufacturers and designers, so we do have pieces that nobody else has, even though we have comparable leggings, like to the Lululemon ones and the joggers and this and that. Now it's everything is like originally ours, and it's just beautiful to see it grow and to see the community grow and people getting their lives changed through this company. And
Nice.
yeah, I'm super excited for what's to come.
That's beautiful.
Abby,
Yeah,
yes.
you've come a long way. I've seen you really evolve beautifully and doing the things you love. Talk about someone that's living her life the way she
Oh,
has
I
designed.
want I want everybody. I want everybody to live their best life, no matter what your circumstances are. Like, do things that fill your life with joy.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most important thing, you know.
Yeah. No, I see that. You've got something beautiful. And I remember when I first started with you, to where you are today. It's beautiful to see you now, like on your social media, you're posting everything you love, because you love dancing. You went back to it again. You love your tarot. You do wonderful with it. And now you do this, got into this clothing line, and you seem to be reaping the rewards of it. So I'd love to see just you're in that element of total
Yes, no,
elation.
I would love for you to like be with me at some point.
Down
I
the
know
road,
that
down the road. I would
down
love
the
to.
road. I
I know
know,
you. I
I
know
know
you
you
approved it. You wanted me to come in, but
yeah.
I've got this determination. I can't burn my bridge, myself to the
No,
ground.
and I don't want you to. I don't want you to distract yourself. I see your focus. I know that you're, bringing your app into the light. You're doing your 21-day challenge, and those are
There's a
things.
10-day detox also that is also wonderful. That's for people that it has nothing to do with workouts. It's more for like liver It's a liver detox. You know, when we stress ourselves, we tax our liver and then overwork it, and people.
Oh, I have to mention the yoga balls. Like I was doing therapy on my shoulder this morning, like right there, like right in between, right against the wall. I was working it.
A little salsa move with it.
Little.
There. Yeah. It's just, I love those things. And the app is going to also consist of videos for the active release therapy balls. I'm kind of thinking how I'm going to lay them out, because they are color coded for people that don't, sometimes when they're brand new and into this whole world of the active release there. And that's mostly like a somatic type of release. Because as I said before, people tend to put stressors in their bodies, and sometimes it's something that it's a family kind of tradition of stressing ourselves a certain way because you saw your mother do it, you end up doing the same thing, or vice versa, or you saw your father do it. And and some things can be picked up from heredity, just from watching.
No, we definitely come, you know, from the programming and the conditioning of our families and the people closest to us.
Right.
And how they handle stress and how, you know, they live their lives. And, you know, then we get out there and then we, you know, we see how the world is, and we also pick things up. So I get it.
Yeah. And so that's why I love these balls, because it's like, you know, I think that since the COVID hit, it was perfect time for me to start like, okay, pushing this out. You helped me put myself out there a little bit by putting my face out there in the meditation. I said, okay, let me start. Then kind of taking what I like doing once we pulled out of the meditation for some time, I figured, let me just go ahead and now work on my active release therapy ball, because sales is not my thing. I sell what I love. But because I'm not in the public eye yet, you know, like that, the way when I first started, it's been a challenge for me to put my product out, just because I don't always like to record stuff, and you know, I don't know, it's just something that I've had to slowly work myself out of it and start doing it more.
You're doing it. Doing it. You're overcoming that. You are, you know, you're doing it.
It's just that I feel some of the things I've ever had to overcome is challenging myself when I don't have other people surrounding me. You know, do I really want to record myself? Do I really want to put this? But, and also learning the apps, how to edit everything, how to like crop and paste, how to add this. It's been a lot of like brain, like wearing all these hats, basically. You have to do, you know.
Yeah, we gotta wear the hats and you know, see what fits better. Sometimes the hat just does not go with anything, and we take it off, we try again.
Right. And so that's kind of like where I'm at a point where, so for me now, and the app is something I've always dreamt of, basically. Oh my God, since you knew me from back then, I've always thought of having something like that, but not in the near future, you know. And now we're here where it made itself possible to me, and I'm like, I jumped on this bandwagon, and I'm delegating with it as I go along, all the little things that I have to learn along as I'm building it and creating it. And it, you know, I find it very, you know, every step has been rewarding, because it's something I've healed of myself, you know.
Yes.
Voicing it out, putting myself out there.
You have to speak things into being. You got to speak things into life.
Yeah. So something I used to think impossible is not. It's like being upside down, you know, when you're doing the headstands, where I could do it, but then I was like, most people would be like, no, I wouldn't do it in this lifetime. It's the same concept. It's like, yeah, you can just look at it in a different perspective.
You limit yourself. You put limits on yourself, and you feel like, oh no, like that's impossible for me.
And it's not. It's just,
and you have to know that you're worthy of those things that you think are impossible. They're not.
Yeah. So I mean, eventually, like I said, I will collaborate with you down the road. It's just.
Yes. I hope so. I'm gonna bring you into the savvy.
So I also want to congratulate you. Your boy just graduated.
Thank you.
Yeah. You got one left now.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe the kids. 2 of them already grown. And now one left.
I know Sierra is 23 and she's doing amazing.
It's
And
beautiful.
Noah's about to go to college. And
Staying in Puerto Rico, or is he going away?
staying in Puerto Rico because he's always wanted to go to Florida, where he's from. He was actually born there, but you know, with everything that's happened, and I have to say, it's been sort of traumatic. I hope that, you know, this is not something that, you know, it affects us all, I think, because here it was like hurricane and then earthquakes, and then let's put a little pandemic in there for us, like globally, to get, you know, like really scared. I feel like it's been a lot. You know, and he's very homey, so he doesn't want to be too far. Like,
nothing wrong with that. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. He's a good kid too.
And I told him, you know, you can go, it's gonna be fine. Like, we won't be that far. He has family there, but it's just, no. He was like,
it's okay. I mean, look at my daughter. She's all the way now in Montana, and this heat dome they're dealing with, you know, it's like crazy.
Goodness.
You know, the world is going through a lot of changes. We're seeing a lot of, you know, chaos with the weather, with just, you know, just a lot of things that it's best that
I can't like even process what's been going on in Florida with Surfside. I could not even believe that was Surfside. I'm like, what is going on?
My heart goes out to them because, you know, I mean, there's a big loss going on in that scenario, because this has been 3 years of making already that they knew this was happening, and the fact that they didn't do anything about it, they looked the other way. You know, a lot of things are going to come up to surface, as we've already seen a few things already happening on that end. But my heart goes out to all of them, family that are still, you know, we don't even know how many will surface out, if you can bury them or whatever. It's just sad, very sad. I unfortunately, and then with all the rainstorms that we've been dealing with, you know, that you're talking about steel, concrete, wetness. Oh, that's not good. You got to be careful with the ones that are actually doing all the rescue too, that they're not getting caught up in that hole. It's a rubble out there. And yeah, I had one podcast also this week with one of my dear friends who's a psychologist, and she, you know, she was going to go online, and they called her out to be there for help. So they're looking for people.
Yes, you know, because like people lost everything and lost loved ones, and it's just
heartbreaking.
A bunch of them at one time. It's devastating. It's like the worst thing.
I know. And what timing? I'm just saying, it's sad, you know. I don't know. Like, my heart goes out, and all I can say is just a big sending lots of love and prayer, and you know, let's see what happens. I just know that this rain does not help. It just delays more, makes it a lot more of a challenge to get through the rubble, you know.
Yes.
So, but all we can do is people are helping out. You got a lot of
brave people that get out there and do that kind of work.
Yeah, volunteers. There's a lot of that going on at the moment. So
yes,
God bless them all.
Yes,
they stay safe. Yeah. Yes. Well, Mama, I also wanted to ask you, as for the public that are watching, what's the energy like?
Oh, what's the energy like?
I want people to see how you work. So, and then we'll put your links below.
All right, so let's see.
We could do it with the oracle.
We could do an oracle. Okay, like I have the Moonology right here. And this week I do a weekly reading every single week. Usually on Mondays, I am on there on Instagram doing it. And this week, I mean, it was a huge message of faith.
Yeah.
And how faith is the key to carry us through any situation. Okay, so we had two messages coming through. We have that a fiery climax is approaching. Okay, so
Nice.
whenever, yeah, this is the full moon in Aries card.
Nice.
And then also with that, commitments are being tested. Okay,
Very
so
good.
I feel like this has to do a lot with, you know, what's happening astrologically right now. We are, you know, Leo, Mars in Leo is activating right now.
And we're in
This,
Cancer season.
yes, this
Emotional.
it's like activating this tension in between the planet Uranus and the planet Saturn. And what happens is that Uranus is the one that wants to, you know, it rules Aquarius, so it wants to change things. It wants to innovate, and it wants to do it in a way that it's never been done before.
Yeah,
And
unorthodox. It's not, it doesn't, it's not your typical
you're typical. It's more out of the box. And then Saturn, it's like, no, structure.
rigid.
You know, it's like your parent planet. And it tells you no, but we do things in a certain way. And this is the way that it's always been done. And it wants to maintain and keep a structure. And those two are in tension. And now Mars coming in with Leo, which we know Leos are prideful. It's kind of like, okay, so, and Mars, you know, which is the planet of action, wants to get things done. So with Leo, it's kind of like, oh, you know, maybe I don't want to do it in that way. Or
Right.
maybe I don't want to do it right now. Or I don't want to do it like you say, you know, so it creates like this tension, like things need to happen and they need to happen in this certain way. But is it because of the tension between these two, or is it because Mars and Leo is coming in and saying, okay, we're gonna change it and we're gonna make it awesome, you know, and you're gonna do it, and we're gonna lead you to it.
Okay. I feel like at this moment, it's telling me to pull out one tarot.
One tarot. Okay.
This will clarify everything that's going on.
So there's this fiery climax approaching. Our commitments being tested with things that you know.
Let's see how we need to handle it.
It could be relationships, or it could be the things that you are committed to doing every day. You know, your job. You know, it could be anything that you have kind of like a contract with. Okay. Now let's see what the tarot has to say for all of us that are watching. Okay, so all right, so I had this card come out in my weekly. It's the Six of Swords. So
we're moving into softer. Okay.
We're transitioning. This is part of these changes that are having to happen.
And it's mental, right? Because it's more like us dealing with our basically work.
The swords are definitely mental. It's like people trying to be in this opposition. And look, at the bottom of the deck is the Seven of Cups, which
back a little. There we go. Seven of Cups. Yeah, I see it.
You know, the Seven of Cups is kind of like having mixed emotions and not knowing which way to go or what to choose or what to give love and energy to. So there could be this sort of confusion right now as to where things are moving. But with the Six of Swords, which is this one, which is the light, is kind of bright right there.
Right there.
But the Six of Swords is like we're going through a transition. So we have to allow for things to flow. We're moving from out of a very tense time that has been chaotic for many. You know, loss of income, you name it. People have had to relocate. I feel like a lot of people are relocating as well. They're wanting to travel again. It's also what I'm getting with that card.
Because I think that with this COVID, a lot of people I've noticed are just like literally climbing the walls. They want to get out. I have a lot of clients that want to travel. Now they are traveling. Some that have taken their, vaccines and they're gone.
Yes,
They're gone.
it's people have been doing the vaccination, and it's definitely opened the way to more travel because cities, shut down their borders. They
Yeah.
didn't want people to be coming in, and I know here in Puerto Rico it's been crazy with the tourists.
You see back there?
Yeah, it's been good in one way, but it's been really bad in other cases. So,
Absolutely.
So we had the Queen of Pentacles come out, and this was a message that came through in my weekly as well. Like, what can we do to mother ourselves and nurture ourselves through these transitions and through these moments that seem fiery and chaotic and tense? Okay, so finding that time to connect to yourself so that you can connect with spirit, very much like yoga, connecting mind, body, and spirit, and how important that is to be able to come home and feel safe in our bodies and be good with ourselves. So I feel like the message for everyone this week is to know that these changes that are happening are destined, and that nothing is going to come from resisting the changes. So we might as well
Embrace.
use the moment and nurture ourselves and see, really kind of like observe what it is that we're putting our energy into with these commitments that we are engaged in. Okay, because it's saying that our commitments could be tested. So anything that you are contracted in or have been doing for a long time and have been committed to for a long time could be now being tested.
Yeah, beautiful.
So yeah,
That's
that's the
beautiful.
message.
Well, you see, everybody, I told you she's amazing. So
Ah,
I
thank
will
you.
put your link below for people to see, and have a place to go to when they want to. And you do
Thank
readings
you.
as well. So you also do them via Zoom, as right? Am I correct?
Yes, and I do spiritual coaching. Like I'm there for you. I'm like your spiritual friend. You can come to me. You can reach out. I can do readings with you. I can teach you tarot. I can do your chart, your natal chart.
Beautiful.
We could do so many things.
That's awesome.
And you could join me also in Savvy if you're interested in joining and having your own clothing and boutique. That would be amazing as well. I am open to new brand partners, and hoping that more of you will join me already. A lot of you have. So I am just so happy and grateful that I could be here with
Oh
you.
my God, I'm so happy to hear this, and I'm so happy to see you like evolve, and just seeing you grow over the years has been beautiful. It's like, it's
Thank
rewarding for me as a teacher and a friend as well, to
Thank
see people take their passions and make it happen, when the time is right, 'cause of course everything comes in time. I think that it's just amazing, and it's a reward system for me, because I feel like, wow, everything I helped you with, or you needed at the time, those tools were taken and you put them into practice, and
I'm so grateful.
it's just, it's beautiful.
Eternally grateful for everything that I experienced and lived with you, everything I learned through you, and just everything that I'm doing now. I am just happy for anyone that I can help and touch their lives and change them in some way.
Yeah. You
I,
have one, if you have, what would be some word of wisdom for those that are listening today?
Words of wisdom. Well, I have many things that I would say, but if I had to say one thing, it's just, well, I said something before that touches on the line of something that I would say, which is do more things today that bring you joy.
Yes.
So important to do things that we love, no matter what anybody says outside of yourself. And also, I would say, if you're feeling fearful or doubtful about something, do it anyway. Do it anyway. Just I encourage you to work through that, because being fearless doesn't mean not having fear. It just means that you feel it, but you go ahead anyway and you take that leap. Okay, so that would be two things that I would definitely.
Beautiful. I agree. I love that. I love that. And I just want to let all my listeners, those that are new to this channel, please like and subscribe. Feel free to share with your friends. This podcast is also heard on Spotify, Anchor, on it's also one of my favorite ones, which I love, is Spotify, because now it's on my Instagram. You can put it on the story, which I think that's amazing. 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂, and I think other platforms, which is crazy. So I'm very excited about that, and I just hope you guys enjoy. If there's anything, any content, anyone's wanting to be part of this podcast, feel free to email me and just let me know what you would like to be heard. I'd be happy to provide it for everyone. Thank you all for joining. This is Kamala Ingrid. Namaste.